And tonight on our Great American panel, he ran for Congress in Colorado's 7th Congressional District and is the president and CEO of Western Skies Forum. Ryan Frazier is back with us. He, a Fox News medical contributor, the author of the brand new book, by the way, great book, got it tonight, The Inner Pulse, Unlocking the Secret Code of Sickness and Health. Our friend Dr. Marc Siegel is back, and she, a nationally syndicated radio talk show host and the host of America's Morning Show, Quinn and Rose. Rose Tennant is here. Good to see all of you. Thanks.
Good to be here.
Thank you. The book is, because you and I have we're talking about this, fantastic, and great health ideas. You include spirituality.
Very important. Not just cookie cutter, but spirituality tied in with physicality.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, speaking of medicine, I never thought I'd bring this up on a show. Can you imagine the mother of an 8-year-old daughter, this is a pageant mother, giving her 8-year-old daughter Botox? Watch the video.
I do it, but it hurts sometimes, but I get used to it. I do it right here.
And what do you do it for?
I don't know.
Well, do you do it because you see wrinkles, or?
Oh yeah, I see like wrinkles, and it just like I just like don't like think wrinkles are nice for little girls.
They were just telling me about the lines on her face and how, you know, a lot of the moms there, they're giving their kids Botox, and it's pretty much like the thing. I'm not the only one that does it.
This is nuts.
Oh, my goodness. I felt like I was going to throw up when I read the news story. I couldn't even believe it was real. It's unbelievable. In the story I read, they talked about the mother had said that the daughter wanted to do it. Oh, she said, I wasn't going to do it. That my daughter, her daughter was the one who wanted to try Botox. And I thought, you know what? My daughter wants to run around with scissors in her hand. Should I let her do that, too?
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
8 years old. This is a form of child abuse. This is going to have severe psychological scars on this child later on with identity issues. And not only that, there's medical risks of Botox.
Yeah.
You can actually paralyze parts of the face with this. There's complications here. The woman should be considered possibly to lose custody.
Can I just say something? And I don't want women that get Botox to be offended. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look real. Nobody, you know, if the men in your life don't love you the way you are, don't stay with them.
Well, it just doesn't. It makes no sense for an 8-year-old for a pageant. And I think this is just an unfortunate case of a mom who wants to be a friend instead of a parent.
That's a great point.
And it's a really unfortunate reality.
All right, moving on to presidential politics. Newt was here yesterday. We just,
I like Newt Gingrich.
I like Newt Gingrich.
Yeah, I really
like all the candidates. I think I'm tired of this. This is JV. Nobody can beat Obama. Baloney. I don't believe that.
Sometimes I think Mickey Mouse could beat Obama. Really, I do. But we do need a strong candidate.
Who do you like so far?
Well, you know, it's hard to say because you know that I'm friends with Rick Santorum, and I think he is, talk about a genuine, honest man. That's who Rick Santorum is. Additionally, Herman Cain, in my opinion, is every man, woman's man, because he came from adversity, he came from humble beginnings, and yet look at him now. That is the American dream. He lived it, he made a success out of the American dream, and I love Herman Cain for many, many reasons. But I'd like to talk about
I was going to say something very positive about Gingrich. He got slammed by the left today about his health care issues, but he actually started the Center for Health Transformation, and he's about privatizing the system. He's been totally misrepresented here. But Romney has a big problem here. He tried to distance himself from Obamacare today. I'm not buying it. Massachusetts is in big trouble because of Romney Care, and the problem with it is you can't get in to see a doctor. There's huge waits. Doctors are running away. Only half the doctors in the states of Massachusetts are actually seeing new patients.
I'm just excited that this field is finally starting to take shape. And the reality is that this election is going to come down to being about the direction of the country and who gives the people the confidence that they can get the job done.
All right, guys, we got to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll continue.
I'm going to talk about Newt.
I'm going to talk about my Botox.
We don't need Botox, thank God.
More with our great American panel as we continue tonight on Hannity. And we continue now with our great American panel. All right, so Newt was here last night. Mitt Romney gives a speech on health care. Mitch Daniels sitting on the fence. Governor Palin, we don't know if she's going to get in. Huckabee, we don't know yet. Palente's in. Santorum's in. We have our 2 libertarians in. Michelle Bachmann may get in. Who do you like? Give me your top 3.
Listen, I just want to say something of Newt Gingrich. Okay, I'm so tired of every time you hear somebody say something about Newt, it's Newt, the man who has too much luggage, Gingrich. Why? I mean, why do we always say that about him? Who doesn't have luggage? Everybody has luggage. And last night on your show, he said he made mistakes and he's grown from them. You got to give him that. I mean, we all make mistakes. And additionally, when I look at Obama, he has more luggage than U.S. Airways on any given day at the airport.
You know,
okay?
I like Daniels. I don't know how far he's going to go, but he's fiscally sound. He stood up against the unions 5 years ago. He's a very impressive candidate. Huckabee, by the way, has told me that he stopped listening when the phone rings and it's Fox News. He does not pick up the phone because he's afraid he's going to be, you know, if he officially announces he's going to be a problem here.
You know, I'm interested to see who really emerges here. You know, who really gets out there and connects with the people, talks about the issues they care about. In my town, in my city, in Aurora, I talk to a lot of folks, and I can tell you, they're really concerned about the direction of the country, about the direction of our economy, and whether there's going to be a candidate that really gets out there and talks about those issues in a way.
This goes to, and I'll ask all you what you think about Donald Trump, but I think it's what I've been saying. Marc Stein said it very well tonight. The reason people like Trump is because he fights and he swings and he doesn't take any crap.
Can you say kick ass on this show? Okay, because I think they know that he would kick some butt on the.
Yeah, but that's true.
I think that's what they want. They want a strong man.
I want somebody that's going to fight. I'm tired of people.
You know what they want, Sean? They want someone who's going to call it like it is, who's going to tell them the truth, and who's going to put forth a concrete direction for the country.
He makes a great point, Trump, when he talks about how we're hemorrhaging all this money to foreign countries that we don't get back. You know, we go to Iraq. It's a little controversial, but he's saying we repair Iraq. We don't get repaid by oil. That's a very, very strong point.
I have said this for years. You know, you think of all the natural resources they have. How about $1 million to every family that lost a loved one or any soldier that was, you know, permanently disabled in that war for their liberation? Same thing goes with Kuwait. Now, I'm not saying I don't think we should take their oil, but they should pay for their own liberation. Certainly, right? Especially with a fiscal crisis we have.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. We all agree on that. All right. Now, there was a would-be flag burner at LSU just a day ago, and all of a sudden, well, he didn't actually get to burn the flag because the students... Anyway, the guy had to be escorted away in a cop car for safety reasons. Large crowd following him. 1,000 students showed up chanting USA, USA, USA. Now, usually it's the conservative in the cop car that's being taken off because he's about to offer conservative views. I think this is a pretty cool movement. You know, give the liberals a piece of their own medicine.
Absolutely. You know, this guy, they're saying he may have the right or freedom to burn the flag. I think it's great that these people have the same right or freedom to express their displeasure and disappointment with this act. You know, so many folks have fought for the rights and the freedoms in this country. The last thing we want to see is people burning our flags.
Free speech goes both ways, right?
I completely agree with that. I would add, the university doesn't have to tolerate this. They can actually expel someone for burning a flag.
They'll never,
well, you can have a constitutional right, but it doesn't mean a university has to ordain it.
Yeah, I think it is our holy honor of those men and women that gave their life.
Absolutely.
I think so, and I think more and more people believe that way, and I think there's a hope for a future when you see young people at the university like that, you know, responding in that way, and free speech goes both ways.
You know, one of the things I think will be a big topic is American exceptionalism. I think it's going to be a lot bigger in this election than anything else. All right, guys, hey, good to see you. And by the way, the Inner Pulse, this is Dr. Siegel's new book. You want to get it in bookstores everywhere. And coming up, our exclusive investigation into the link between the drug cartels fighting on the Mexican border and Islamic terror groups. This special report on Hannity coming up next.